Check 1, 2. everyone. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Test, test, test. 3, 2, 1. Check, check, check. Why is that like that? Turn that up like that. There we go. Hello, hello, hello. All right.
Take to get a couple of good Indiana high school teams over here to play a game sometime next year. Trying to do that? We're trying to put together like a 5 or 6 game high school holiday thing. Yeah. They do that up at Worcester College. They start at noon and they play 6 games, and they eventually end up with Worcester playing Wittenberg in the final game of the night. But they do like 5 high school games prior to that. And just gives, it's a bigger floor. It gives the university an opportunity to get some money and see some kids and free recruiting, stuff like that. I've been talking to Toby about it off and on for about the last 3 weeks. What's it normally cost to get into a game over in Indiana? I think it's $5 or $6. I got it passed, so I just I don't go to many away games, but I got we buy 100 tickets. And if they sold whatever they sold, they could keep 100% of it. And then they just turn their tickets back in and sell out the gate. I don't know. It works out really well up there. I mean, they get a packed house for almost starting noon throughout the entire day.
We do something like that for our CIC. They usually have, like we went to, for our football team, they went to Ball State and played all our CIC conferences in one day, which is kind of cool because you can go watch them all.
Yeah.
And then the basketball, they did it down at where the hockey team from Indianapolis, they go to the state fairground and play down there, and it's kind of cool.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it's a 2.5-hour ride for us.
Yeah, I mean,
It'd have to be somebody on the east side of Indiana, I would think.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just a thought right now. It's kind of, but I mean, like getting Roger Bacon to play maybe Purcell here. It'd be nice to get. Xavier's always pretty good. He supposedly is looking at a big kid at Macy's.
At Macy's?
Yeah. Just a little north of here by Kings Island.
I told Gunner about a 16 kid. He's at Cowan High School. Kind of slow, big white kid, but he's in a 1A school. He's like, there's not going to be a lot of people see. Then I heard the other day that Anderson University and Manchester already talked to him. So I was like, man, that'd be a good kid. Because when we played him, Avery was our biggest guy, and they went to him the first 3 times up for it. It was 6-0. He just turned, laid it in. When we went to zone, and we had a guy in the front and behind him, and they quit going to him. They just quit using it. They just took him out, so he wanted to miss. I'm like, they didn't try to throw into him. I'm like, at least try. I mean,
My younger son coaches at a high school up Central Ohio, and they've got a kid that's 6'5", 250, who's averaging 19 and 7. And he said, nobody's looking at him. Nobody. And I said, well, how do you play him, high or low post? He said, he can play either. I mean, he shoots from 15 feet.
I don't know if this kid can shoot, but I know around the basket, when he got it the first 3 times down, he just turned. They was bothering him and pushing him, he just laid it.
Yeah. Oh, Bub says, that's my youngest son, Bub. He said, you can't push this kid out of the wall.
Well, I told Scudder, I said, if you're going to run, he's not the guy. But if you're going to stop and walk the ball up, he's our guy, because he can do that.
Well, this kid at Mason evidently is a D2 player, but he doesn't want to go D2 because he says that basketball will be too much of an emphasis, and he's a genius. He's like a 4.3. But he's come to the basketball camps in the last 2 years. He's 6'8". So
We need somebody.
oh yeah. Yeah.
Ever get Avery to stay healthy, we'd be all right.
What's wrong with him now? He's told you about it?
No, his thumb, he got it pulled. They pulled it back there 2 games ago. And then the last week, he did it early. The kid went by him, he stuck his hand out and caught it on his shirt and his hip, and just pulled it back again. He couldn't. He said, I can't even feel the basketball now. So he went to the doctor, and the doctor said, well, we need to send you to a specialist. They did X-ray and said no bone broke. But then when he went to the specialist, whoever come in first said, well, I think he tore something. He's like, shit, I'm done.
Yeah.
And the doctor said, you didn't hear that. Wear this brace and go on play.
All right.
I was like, kind of
they pass up too many open shots.
Well, Avery told me in practice one day when they come back from Christmas, the day they come back, that Reese took a shot and Peyton took a shot and they missed him, and the coach said, I don't know why you guys are shooting. You got three other guys out here shoot 50% from the floor. You guys are taking stupid shots. So now they're all hesitant. You can see, I mean, you can see when they pull up, it's like you should have shot that, and they're like, oh, too late, now I got back. Well, it was a ballback. The little point guard,
Joel Day?
Joel Day.
Yeah.
He got the ball 2 or 3 times at the top of the key and didn't take it. Coach took a timeout. Shoot the ball. And it's like, well, you just told them not to. Now they're thinking about it.
Yeah. You
can't think if you're playing basketball. It's got to be
you got to go.
Yeah. I think Avery played 3 minutes that last game. He said it hurt so bad. He tried to take it out at halftime and go shoot. Now I can't throw the ball.
I kind of wondered where he was. I don't know.
He's always been able to go right and shoot right close to him. I said, shoot right. I mean, I think that's where he's at right now. His shot's not falling that thing. I said, but you went to the hole. You did it against UT Martin and Bellarmine. What's wrong with you? I mean,
yeah. Well, you can tell right now this game's important because Kobe's out there. This is important. This is a big game.
They're at the top of the conference, I think.
Yeah, they're up by
I've seen 2 or 3 kids that I know. The kid from Kiffin, he's pretty good. I don't know if he plays. And then Mansburger from Eastbrook, he killed us one year. We had him down 25 a half, and he beat us in the second half. He was shooting shots, fading away, and we were fouling him. They was going in. It's like, oh my goodness.
They have no scoring off the bench either.
No?
They got 40, averaging almost 17 points a game. That's Krause. And the other 4 starters average 11.
Slow him down a little bit. Now this Carter kid, Avery played AAU ball with him a couple years ago. He was pretty good his senior year. I don't know what he's like now, but when he was a tip, he was. He's kind of one of them streaky shooters.
Yeah.
You foul him, he hits it, you're in trouble.
He's averaging just under 2 points. Who is the other kid?
Carter.
Carter Pro. He's only averaging 2 minutes a game. 2 points. And then James Carter, number 11. He's averaging 6 minutes a game, 1.6. Yeah. Yeah, see, they go Kennedy, Morris, Gutierrez, Klaus, Mills. Krause is averaging 16.2. The rest of them are 11, 11, 11, 11. You get all up to 11, you get all over. Well, yeah. Yeah, but look, the rest of them. Look at the rest of them. This kid here, Goggin, is 34. Killed us this freshman year. He's averaging 10 minutes a game. He's doing nothing. Killed us this freshman year. That's the people.
Telling some of my friends back home, I said, we got 3 guys that can score 20 or 30 a night, but I said, we haven't put it together, and we finally put it together, but nobody else can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. We scored 68 points Saturday. 7 close to Brady. Had 60 of them. Yeah. We got anybody off the bench scoring. Yeah. We got so mad at the starters, we were down by 15. Put in the second team, a 5-word player. Yeah, 5 words. He stuck it. And doggone it, they didn't went back and walked in. They were up by 2 at halftime. I went in the locker room at halftime. He was standing outside. I didn't go in. I said, what are you going to do now? He said, I got to stick with it. Yeah. I got to get ready. Okay. I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Get into my perch. Like a dog on an airplane pilot. Hey, this was a good day. That ass me I might even praise the Hall of Fame. They got O.J. Simpson in the Hall of Fame, but no Art Modell. That don't make sense.
How Avery good. So because he couldn't go
Check, check.
Big's on here. You can come over here early.
You can see that like some light.
We're 30 minutes away from the tip-off of this Lions game, so let's get set with the Invisible Ink Tattoo Removers pregame show. Brought to you by Invisible Ink Tattoo Removers at 119 Fairfield Avenue in Bellevue, Kentucky. Schedule a free consultation today by calling them at 866-219-0672.
Mount St. Joseph University, and tonight we have got college basketball action for you on UltimateSportsTalk.com as the Mount St. Joseph Lions, 3-8 overall, 1-5 in Heartland Conference play, take on the first place Franklin Grizzlies, who are 9-4 overall, and they are 5-1 in the Heartland Conference. Glad to have you along tonight. I'm Dave Mitchell here on UltimateSportsTalk.com. The Mount, as they head into this evening's ball game at home, they have lost 4 straight, 8 of their last 10. Not just one thing has been the problem. It's always been something else every game that they have lost. There have been long scoring droughts, rebounding problems, turnovers, defensive lapses, and just plain youth mistakes. In the last 10 ball games, the Lion wins have come against Washington and Jefferson and Earlham. Now, during the 4-game losing streak, they have lost to Rose on Saturday, and before that, Hanover, Manchester, and Anderson. At home, the Lions have lost 3 in a row, and they are 1-5 here at the Harrington Center. That was after they lost Saturday to Rose Holman in a close game by a final score of 74-68. Tanner Close put the host Lions ahead 68-67 on a three-pointer with 2:19 remaining, and that was it for the Lions the rest of the ball game. 2 free throws from my pick for most valuable player in the conference, Craig McGee, put Rose Holman back on top 69-68 at the 1:31 mark. In a 3-point game, Terry Hicks knocked down a game-clinching 3-pointer to give Holman a 6-point lead and the victory with just 5 seconds left to go in the ball game. For the Lions, Tanner Close led the way with 21 points in that ball game. Devin Young had 20 and Brady Thomas 19. The key number of the day was bench scoring as the Engineers outscored the Mount 40-0 off the bench. But when you look over this Franklin Grizzly team, well, they've got pretty much the same problem. A very talented starting 5, but not much more coming off the bench. And this may be the most talented starting 5 in the conference. About a year ago this time, Toby Kerrigan, the head coach of the Lions, said that Kerry Prather, the head coach of Franklin, has got something special over there, and they are about ready to explode. And it was about at that point in time that the Grizz did. And right now, Prather has got his ball club on top of the conference standings by 1 game over 3 teams, Hanover, Anderson, and Rose Holman. They took over first place all by themselves on Saturday when they defeated Anderson, who was tied with them for first place, on the road 77-64. Franklin Jr. Peyton Mills dominated the game inside. He poured in a game-high 20 points, grabbed 13 rebounds. Fellow big man Matt Krause, who's their leading scorer, added 15 points and a game-high 14 boards, while Borden Kennedy and Sam Gutierrez in the backcourt also reached double figures with 14 and 13 points respectively. Sam Gutierrez, boy, he could shoot anywhere on the floor. He has really been a problem for the Lions over the last couple of years. Another player that's been a problem for the Lions but isn't getting much playing time this year is Danny Goggins. Goggins is averaging just 10 minutes per ball game for Kerry Prather's club, but boy, has he exploded against the Lions over the last couple of years. 3.5 points a game is all that Goggins is averaging off the bench for the Grizz. Rebounds on Saturday for Franklin, well, they were dominant there. They out-rebounded Anderson 47-32 on 40 Raven misses in the ball game. They held a 14-4 advantage in the turnover battle, with Franklin dominated scoring inside to the tune of 44-22. So they really dominated inside the paint against a bigger Anderson Ravens squad. And Anderson, when we saw them, we thought maybe they were the most talented ball club. But when you look at films of this Franklin team, boy, they can do a
lot on the basketball floor, and we'll get to see them live here tonight at the Harrington Center. The Grizz have won 6 in a row, heading into this one, diametrically opposed to what the Mount has done, losing 4 straight. Their last and only conference loss came at Hanover on December 4th. That was 70-51. That was the lowest scoring output that Franklin has had this season. And after Saturday against Anderson, the Grizz face the tough part of their schedule, coming up with Rose and Hanover at home and Bluffton and Transy on the road in the next 5 games. And if they can split that, boy, they should be in good shape. So this is a very, very big game for both of these ball clubs, especially for the Mount. Right now, they are a couple of games out of the playoff picture, postseason tournament action. They need a big victory here tonight and actually continue to win on as the second half of the conference season will begin coming up next week. These two teams met twice last year. Franklin here at Harrington. Well, that was on February the 9th, and they came away with an 18-point victory, 72-54. Mills, Kennedy, Krause, and Cale Morris each were in double figures for the Grizz. Young and Thomas combined for 34 of the Lions' 54 points in that ballgame. And in the first contest at Franklin on Saturday, January the 5th, the Lions won it 57-50. Kerry Prather, in his 36th year as head coach of this Grizz squad, he's got a career record of 520 wins and 451 defeats. 520 and 451 in his career. In the Grizz's 2018-19 season opener, Prather won his 500th career victory, making him the 13th active coach in Division III to surpass that milestone. Right now, he is the acting president of the university, and they're going to name somebody else here coming up in a couple of weeks, but Prather right now is taking that over on an interim basis. Toby Kerrigan, in his 9th year, 118 wins against 85 career defeats. In 16 meetings against Prather, Kerrigan has won 10, and over his 9 years, the Lions have gone 67-36 here at the Harrington Center, a winning percentage of 65%. The women are playing over in Franklin this evening. The Wrestlers, well, they did very well this weekend. The Heartland Conference named their Players of the Week. We'll take a look at all that, plus go over the conference standings on the men's side and tell you the schedule for tonight around the Heartland Conference when we come back right after this timeout.
At Invisible Ink Tattoo Removers, we utilize ink analytics, our plastic surgeon-developed diagnostics. Our exclusive ink analytics system lets us measure your tattoo against more than 60,000 treatments completed by our team. Reviewing over 40 unique factors about your skin and tattoo, Ink Analytics is able to predict the number of treatments you'll need to remove your ink, taking the guesswork out of tattoo removal. Because we're so confident in Ink Analytics, we guarantee our results, which means if your ink is gone before 8 treatments, we will prorate and give you money back. And if your ink is not gone in 8 treatments, we'll continue to treat you at no cost or up to a year. That's the Invisible Ink Guarantee.
Invisible Ink Tattoo Removers works with integrity. Using the innovative Pico Way laser technology, Invisible Ink Tattoo Removers is on the leading edge. Located in Greater Cincinnati at 119 Fairfield Avenue in Bellevue, Kentucky. Schedule a free consultation today by calling them at 866-219-0672. Back here at the Harrington Center, I'm Dave Mitchell on UltimateSportsTalk.com. This past weekend, the Lions wrestling team traveled to Defiance to take on conference foes, the Yellow Jackets and Manchester. The Lions finished the day 2-0, including a 35-16 win over Manchester and a 34-9 win over Defiance. The Lions will be back in action on Thursday, January 23rd. That's a week from tomorrow night at Elder High School when they're going to face off against the Saints of Thomas More. Our next broadcast game is coming up on Saturday, and we'll have the men's and women's doubleheader. That is going to tip off at 1 o'clock with the women's action, and as far as the men's game is concerned, that will get underway at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll be on the air with the pregame show starting at about 12:45 on Saturday from Defiance, so hope you join us then. The Heartland Conference has named their basketball players of the week, and for the women, Hanover senior forward Alexis Nall helped propel the Panthers to a perfect perfect 6-0 mark in the Heartland with victories over the Mount and Bluffton. She finished the week averaging 21.5 points per game and 13 rebounds a contest. She was named the Heartland Conference Player of the Week. The Lions tonight are on the road at Franklin, coming off their 47-26 win Saturday against Rose-Hulman. Chloe Jansen led the Lions for the day with 19 points against the Fighting Engineers. Jansen was 6 of 7 in free throws made. She recorded 8 rebounds, 5 assists, had 5 steals. Maddie Haberthy was also involved on the Lions offense with 13 points for the day, as well as 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 6 steals. And that victory broke an 18-game Mount losing streak to Rose-Hulman. Tonight, the Lions are taking on a record of 2-4 in the conference, and they're 1 game out of third as they head to Franklin. That game is also going to tip off at 7:30 tonight. The Lions, well, they are 3-10 overall. The women's conference standings heading into tonight's action, Transylvania and Hanover are each at the top of the standings with perfect marks of 6-0. Then comes Franklin at 4-2. Manchester, Defiance, and Earlham are each at 3-3. Bluffton and Mount are 2-4. Anderson 1-5, and Rose-Hulman holds up the bottom at 0-6. On Saturday in men's basketball action, Hanover defeated Bluffton 63-44. Transylvania got by Defiance by 7, 90-83. It was Franklin by 13 over Anderson. We told you about that game, 77-64. And it was Manchester losing or winning in double overtime over Earlham by a final score of 68-64. After those games, Franklin junior Peyton Mills, who poured in 18 points in just 21 minutes of action against Transy on Wednesday and put in 20 points and 13 rebounds against Anderson, was named the Heartland Conference Men's Basketball Player of the Week. And the Lions get the honor of taking him on tonight along with the rest of his Franklin Grizzly teammates coming up tonight. So a look at the schedule this evening in the Heartland Conference. Other than this game, they're all 7:30 starts. Bluffton will be at Earlham. Anderson goes to Rose-Hulman. Transy is at Hanover, and Manchester will be at Defiance. So the Heartland Conference standings heading into tonight for the men. Franklin on top of it by a game with a record of 5-1. And then at 4-2, 3 teams: Hanover, Anderson, and Rose-Hulman. Then comes Bluffton, Transylvania, and Manchester, each at 3-3. Defiance, the Lions' next opponent on Saturday, comes in at 2-4. Then Earlham and Mount St. Joseph are at 1-5 in the conference. Those are the games that are happening tonight and the conference standings. I'm Dave Mitchell. We'll be back to talk with head coach Toby Kerrigan and preview tonight's ball game between Franklin at 9-4, 5-1 in the conference. The first place Grizz taking on the last place Mount St. Joseph Lions at 3-8 and 1-5 in conference play. I'm Dave Mitchell. We'll be back with more right after this. Decided a tattoo you had done isn't for you anymore, but you don't want to go through the long, tedious, and sometimes painful removal process? Now you can have it removed using the innovative Pico Way laser technology from Invisible Ink Tattoo Removers. They're on the leading edge of tattoo removal. Located in Greater Cincinnati at 119 Fairfield Avenue in Bellevue, Kentucky. Schedule a free consultation today by calling 866-219-0672. Invisible Ink Tattoo Removers. Social media has exploded over the years. The way we interact, receive news, and comment with everything has changed in this decade, and Twitter is where people usually discover what's happening. This is Dave Mitchell. With over 500 million tweets being sent each day, hundreds of millions of people are exploring links, articles, retweets, trends, and moments to find out what's new. Businesses strengthen their brands, friends promote themselves, and some just want more followers and likes. I just want to hear from you. Before, during, or after, send me your comments about the game to my Twitter, OHBB co-host. That's OHBBCOHOST. I hope to hear from you soon. That's OHBB co-host. Back here at the Harrington Center, we're about 12 minutes away from the tip-off of tonight's ball game. Glad to have you along this evening on UltimateSportsTalk.com. Franklin is coming in, and boy, are they doing a great job under head coach Kerry Prather. They are an outstanding ball club, 9-4 overall, 5-1 in Heartland Conference conference play. Prather, in his 36th year as head coach of the Grizz, 520 wins. They have 451 losses under Kerry. They're 5-1 at home. They're 3-2 on the road and 1-1 on a neutral floor. Franklin was predicted in the preseason coaches poll to finish 4th in the conference. Last year they finished up with a 9-8 Heartland Conference, or 9-9, Heartland Conference record, and an overall mark of 12-15. They are extremely balanced in scoring. When you look at this team, their starting five is probably the most balanced in the conference. You've got Matt Krause leading the way with 16.2 points per ball game, but then the rest of their starting lineup averages right around 11. Cale Morris at 11.1, Peyton Mills 11.7, Gordon Kennedy at 11.5, and so does Sam Gutierrez at 11.5. But then, when they come off the bench, that's when they've got problems putting the ball in the basket. Their leading scorer coming off the bench is Jordan Anderson, a senior, number 10, averaging 4.9 points per ball game. And then Danny Goggins, who is a 6'5 junior. Goggins averaging 3.5 points per ball game. But those two players really are not playing very much. Anderson is averaging just 17 minutes per ball game, and Goggins even less than that at 10 minutes per game. The Grizz right now are behind Transy as a team in points per game at 77.5, while defensively in the Heartland they are third, giving up 70.2 points per ball game. After tonight's game, they will be back on the road on Saturday, and they will be taking on Manchester. That game for the Grizz should tip off somewhere around 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, but they are an outstanding shooting ball club. Let me just give you these stats. They're shooting almost 50% from the field, 49.6% from the field, and they're averaging 40.5% from three-point range. They get the ball out and go in transition, and their defense is very good in transition. They'll be on you right away, even on a made basket. The Lions come in with a record of 3-8 overall. They are 1-5 in the Heartland Conference, but here at the Harrington Center, a somewhat disappointing home record of 1-5 on the year under head coach Toby Kerrigan in his 9th year. 118 wins, 85 career defeats. As a team, the Lions are scoring just 65.5 points per ball game, and they're giving up 74.7 points per game, which is 6th in the Heartland Conference defensively. Tonight, the Lions hope to stop a short 4-game skid. Brady Thomas leads the team in scoring with almost 15 points per ball game, and he is 5th in the conference in scoring heading into tonight's action. The Lions, well, this is a big one, coming off a very disappointing loss to Rose-Hulman on Saturday. We talked with head coach Toby Kerrigan earlier this evening. Toby, heading into tonight's game against first place Franklin, first of all, in the game on Saturday, you're getting just really, really close to turning the corner with this team, aren't you?
Yeah, guys, we came out and we executed offensively to start the game. Did a good job defensively, keeping it out of the post, where we knew that they do a great job, and we did a great job of keeping it away from Craig McGee and out of his hands. He's almost averaging a triple-double, and so I thought the guys executed what we were trying to do, and we were able to make it a game.
What did you do against McGee that was you were able to? I know going into the game you wanted to keep the ball out of his hands once he gave it up. Seemed like you were able to do that, and plus the fact you had him out of rhythm the entire contest.
Well, we just trapped all the ball screens, even if it was we call it a ghost screen, where you don't even actually set a ball screen. You just run up like you're going to set it, and then you run away from it. But we trapped even that. So, with a player like him, you just don't want it in his hands as much as possible. And our guys, they did a great job of it, and made him turn it over a little bit, and got him out of rhythm a little bit.
And sometimes you can play pretty good defense and still get beat. And Hicks hit that three-pointer right at the end, and I thought you guys were playing some good defense at that point.
Yeah, he made a tough shot at the end. We had our opportunities, and it just didn't get done. And credit to Rose-Hulman, they got stops and scored when they needed to, and we didn't.
Tonight you've got Franklin. You said about a year ago this time you thought Franklin was ready to turn a corner, and you were right. What did you see at that point in time out of this team that you thought they were ready to take off?
Just as these five guys that are playing right now, they all can score. They're all bigger bodies, so we call it bully ball. I'm watching film, and they're just backing people down into the lane at every position, from the point guard to the 5 spot. So they're bigger, they're stronger, they're older. They got guys that can really shoot the ball, so you can't help in on guys. You can't dig down on guys and get it out of there, because guys are going to make shots. So, right now they're the complete package offensively, and they score in transition better than anybody in this league. Miss and make. You watch tonight, even on a make, like, they are at the 3-point line on top of you in a hurry. So it'll be tough.
I mean, you look at this team, Toby, and you've got Krause that's averaging 16, then the other 4 in the starting lineup are averaging 11. Usually you could try, like you did on Saturday, to key on McGee and before on Hibbert and other good players. But this team, man, you've got to go mano-a-mano against them, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the problems here. To keep it out of the post and to go double the post, you're going to have to leave somebody standing open. So our rotations are going to have to be fast. We're going to have to be on point and have good communication on where we're going and try to close out and make those shots as tough as possible.
Is it still youth mistakes with your team right now?
I mean, there's a few things that now let's keep in mind the 4 games we played at home are against the top 4 teams in this league. So they're all really good defensive teams. A little bit of it is maybe youth, but a little bit of it too is the other team making good defensive plays and keeping us from what we want to do. So every time we play another game, we get a little more experience and get a little more knowledge about how to do this or how to do that and the best way to do things. So hopefully we just continue to move in the right direction.
You would think that these kids on your team have seen just about everything that they're able to see from the AAU level, high school, all the way up to this in the first couple of years, even the first year. That's really not the case, is it? There's always something in a game that's going to befuddle you. Sure,
yeah. I mean, you can play a lot of games, but each game is different and each situation is different. So, the personnel will always be different, and so there's different things that you have to take into account, and every time you go out there, you're hopefully learning something new and able to use that down the road.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Toby Kerrigan before tonight's ball game. Lions come in shooting just 43% from the field, 31% from three-point range. They've got 2 injuries this evening. Of course, Joel Day is coming back from that sprained ankle. Avery Paddock off the bench is playing with a sore left thumb, which also happens to be his shooting hand. We'll be back with the keys to the ball game when we return after this.
Decided a tattoo you had done isn't for you anymore, but you don't want to go through the long, tedious, and sometimes painful removal process? Now you can have it removed with integrity and zero judgment at Invisible Ink Tattoo Removers.
At Invisible Ink Tattoo Removers, we utilize ink analytics, our plastic surgeon-developed diagnostics. Our exclusive ink analytics system lets us measure your tattoo against more than 60,000 treatments completed by our team. Reviewing over 40 unique factors about your skin and tattoo, Ink Analytics is able to predict the number of treatments you'll need to remove your ink, taking the guesswork out of tattoo removal. Because we're so confident in Ink Analytics, we guarantee our results, which means if your ink is gone before 8 treatments, we will prorate and give you money back. And if your ink is not gone in 8 treatments, we'll continue to treat you at no cost for up to a year. That's the Invisible Ink Guarantee.
Located in Greater Cincinnati at 119 Fairfield Avenue in Bellevue, Kentucky. Schedule a free consultation today by calling them at 866-219-0672. Invisible Ink Tattoo Removers.
Well, the keys for tonight's game, they're almost identical for each ball club. Whoever gets the most bench scoring tonight will probably win, and whoever gets the most rebounds will probably win tonight's ball game. That's your keys for this evening's ball game. We've got the starting lineups and the opening tip-off coming up next here on UltimateSportsTalk.com.
You've been listening to the Invisible Ink Tattoo Removers pregame show. A look at today's Lions basketball game. Invisible Ink Tattoo Removers, located at 119 Fairfield Avenue in Bellevue, Kentucky. Call 866-219-0672. Mount St. Joseph College basketball is next on UltimateSportsTalk.com.
At Mount St. Joseph, we're on a mission to make sure every single student succeeds in their career. In fact, 98% of our undergraduates are working in their field within 6 months of graduation. Discover the Mount at msj.edu/admissions.
This Saturday, the Mount St. Joseph Lions are back on the road trying to swat some Yellow Jackets. The Lions have a women's and men's doubleheader scheduled in Defiance. The Lion women are in a fight for the postseason with the Jackets, while the men are just a hot streak away from the postseason. Join me, Dave Mitchell, Saturday afternoon beginning at 12:45 for the broadcast. The women then tip off at 1 with the men at 3. Mount St. Joseph is at Defiance for a Heartland doubleheader, and you can hear it all Saturday at 12:45 on UltimateSportsTalk.com. The following is a special sports presentation of UltimateSportsTalk.com. UltimateSportsTalk.com now presents Mount St. Joseph Lions College Basketball. Today's game is brought to you by Invisible Ink Tattoo Removers at 866-219-0672. And in part by the Wishbone Tavern on Delhi Avenue. Iron sharpens iron. Call now at 513-383-9773. The Mount St. Joseph University. And Minutemen Staffing in Cincinnati. Call 513-579-0010. Mount St. Joseph University College Basketball is a presentation of UltimateSportsTalk.com. Now let's go to the floor for this Lions game. It's basketball time from the Harrington Center on the campus of Mount St. Joseph University on Delhi Avenue in Cincinnati, Ohio. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to UltimateSportsTalk.com. Tonight we've got the first place Franklin Grizzlies coming to town with a record of 9-4 overall, 5-1 in Heartland Conference play, taking on the Mount St. Joseph Lions, who are 3-10 overall and 1-5 in the Heartland Conference. The Lions are coming in off of a heartbreaking loss to Rose-Hulman on Saturday, 74-68. And let's pause right now for our national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the heavens light, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red arrows bursting in air gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
As we were telling you, Franklin comes in first place in the Heartland Conference by a game over Hanover, Anderson, and Rose-Hulman, each at 4-2. Let's check out the starting lineups for the Grizz. 9-4 on the year, 5-1 in the Heartland. They will start at the forward positions. Number 20, a 6'3 senior, Cale Morris. Morris averaging 11.1 points per ball game. Peyton Mills, the reigning Heartland Conference Player of the Week. Number 32, he is a 6'5 junior, averaging 11.7 per ball ball game. In the middle, the Grizz leading scorer, number 40, Matt Krause. He's a 6'5 sophomore, averaging 16.2 an outing. And then in the backcourt will be Borden Kennedy, number 15. He's a 6'1 senior, averaging 11.5 a ball game. And at the other guard, Sam Gutierrez, number 22, a 6'3 junior, averaging 11.5 for Kerry Prather. He'll go with Morris and Mills at the forwards, Krause in the middle, Kennedy and Gutierrez at the guards. Prather in his 36th year as head coach of the Grizz, 520 wins, 451 career defeats. Now for the homestanding Mount St. Joseph Lions. This will be the third and final game of this three-game homestand for Mount St. Joseph. They're 1-5 here at the Harrington Center. They will start at the forward positions. Number 1, Devin Young, a 6'6 sophomore, averaging 12.5 an outing. Tanner Close at the other forward. He's number 2, a 6'2 sophomore. He also averages 12.5 points a ball game. At the guard positions, the three guards will be Brady Thomas, number 23, a 5'10 sophomore. He's the Lions' leading scorer at 16.5 per ball game. Peyton Metters at the other guard position, number 24, a 6'3 freshman, averaging just under 8. And at the third guard will be number 33, Reese Thompson, a 6-foot freshman, averaging 3.8 points per ball game. So it's Young and Close in the front court, Thomas, Metters, and Reese Thompson at the wings for head coach Toby Kerrigan in his 9th year, 118 wins, 85 career defeats. He is assisted by Joel Scudder and Ryan Gallagher. The next time these two teams meet will be on February the 19th over in Franklin. That'll be a 7:30 tip-off on a Wednesday night. They met twice last year, each winning on the other team's home court. On February the 9th, Franklin won by 18 here, and over in Franklin, the Lions won by 7 on January 5th. Young and Krause in the center circle set to tip this one off, and the referee kind of deked them both out, and now he'll put it in the air. And the ball's controlled into the backcourt to Franklin, and we're underway with the basketball. Kennedy for Franklin. They're adorned in their dark blue uniforms with gold numerals and trim. They get the ball over to Gutierrez, dribbles down to the right block, spins into the lane, now back over to the baseline, put it up with the right hand, up and in. Gutierrez gives Franklin the early 2-0 lead. Thomas will bring it up for the home white uniformed Mount St. Joseph Lions with blue and gold numerals and trim. Thomas on the left wing gets the top of the key to Reese Thompson. Franklin starts out in a man-to-man. They're leading it 2-0. Thomas, sideline left around a pick by Young inside the key, backs it out, back over to Young on the left wing. He'll drive inside the lane, put it on his hip, put it up, no, tip right, back up by Devin Young, up and in. So Young evens the ball game with his first bucket of the night, 2-2, 19-11 to go in this first half of action. Kennedy with the basketball, Borden Kennedy between the circles, over to Gutierrez, right wing, between the legs dribble, at the wing, bounce pass right of the lane, goes down to Peyton Mills. Mills double teamed, dribbles it out into the corner, lobs it out to Gutierrez, top of the key to the left of the lane, gets it back over to Borden Kennedy. He'll drive inside the lane, back out to Gutierrez, top side, 7 on the shot clock. Gutierrez crossover dribble, goes left-hand side to into the corner to Morris. Morris is going to have to force up a 2-pointer from 15, and he got the kind roll. Kale Morris with his first 2, and Franklin leads it 4-2. Into the front court, Thomas gets it off on the left-hand side to Peyton Metters. He'll stop, pull up from 19, inside the key, put it up no good, and the rebound taken down by Matt Krause. Krause gets it up the floor to Borden Kennedy, into the front court, back to Krause. Krause guarded by Tanner Close. Krause with a big mismatch in height there, gets it back out front to Kennedy, top of the circle to the left of the lane, back over to Krause, left corner. He'll drive left baseline, lay it up and in from 5. Matt Krause with 2. Franklin, a perfect 3 for 3 in field goal shooting, and they lead it 6-2 with 18 minutes to go in the first half. Young on the right side hands it off to Close. Now back over on the left-hand side to Metters. Metters bounce pass into the corner to Devin Young inside the three-point arc. Backing down inside against Morris, laid it up and in. Devin Young has got 4, and immediately here comes Franklin the other way. We heard Toby Kerrigan say they want to get it out and go quickly. Gutierrez, right side, put it up, first miss of the night for Franklin, and the rebound taken down by Peyton Metters. He'll get it off to Brady Thomas, and the Lions are going to walk it across the timeline into the front court to start off this ball game with just 3 minutes into it. Thomas is going to drive inside the lane, put it up short, rebound tapped into the corner, saved by Thomas on the baseline, but now they're going to say he stepped out of bounds as he went over the Grizz bench, and he's going to try to gather himself up and get himself back out onto the floor, and now he will. 6-4 your score. Franklin with the lead, 17-19 to go in this first half of action. With the basketball is Borden Kennedy. Kennedy spins, gets a bounce pass left of the lane. It goes to Mills. Mills jumps up into the baseline, laid it up from 2 feet, got it to go. Mills with his first two on a nice move down low, and it's 8-4 Franklin. Thomas, top of the circle, around a pick by Young, right of the lane, stops, pops it from 15 from the wing, got it. Brady Thomas with his first two. Both teams really scorching the nets early in this ballgame, and it's a 2-point Franklin lead, 8-6, with 16:43 remaining in the first half. Kennedy goes over on the left-hand side to to Cale Morris, and Cale Morris put it in from 15. Morris with 4, and they're going to give him a three-pointer on that. It's going to be a three-pointer for Morris. That'll give him 5. Looked like he was inside the arc, but that makes it 11-6. With it is 11-6, 16:20 left to go, and into the front court comes the rebound. Kennedy gets it over on the left-hand side to Gutierrez, top of the for 3, got it. 16:09, and now it's 14-6, and immediately the Lions are going to take a timeout on the 5th point of the night, as Franklin has opened up an 8-point lead. 14-6, 16:03 left to go in this first half of action, and we'll be right back at the Harrington Center.
At Mount St. Joseph University, our mission is to provide students with an affordable, world-class education in a safe, comfortable, private school setting. Nearly 100% of our incoming undergraduate students receive scholarships, grants, or financial aid. And with small class sizes and a 98% undergraduate career placement rate, the Mount leads the way in educational value and student success. Discover your potential. Discover the Mount at msj.edu/admissions.
Every day is a great day at the Wishbone Tavern in the Delhi Plaza. The Wishbone Tavern still serves the best wings and burgers in town.